literature. Fantastic. Oh, hello. Salutations, friends. I didn't hear you come in. One moment, I'll be right with you. Hello. Most of you know me as Mikhail Mulchowski, celebrated star of stage and screen. You may remember me from films such as Chug Knuckle and Chug Knuckle 2, The Fistening. However, I'm not here today to talk to you about my film career. Heavens, no. I'm here to speak to you about a wonderful new pastime sweeping the nation. The modern board game. Join me, won't you, on a journey across this wonderful new pastime.
Hey! Did I get your attention?
Good. Then welcome to Expansion Theory. I'm Mike, and this is Expansion Theory, a show about tabletop games, house rules, and deconstructing those rules to be able to change the game to be more fun, or at least more suited to the people that are playing them. Anyone familiar with tabletop gaming, especially nowadays, should know about expansions. Expansions are separately sold elements that change the nature of how a game is played. For example, the games Ticket to Ride and Power Grid add new countries and continents to the game that give a little more variety. Just like Apples to Apples and Dixit add new cards with new artwork or adjectives that change the nature of the game a little bit. So that's what we're going to do here. Expansion Theory is all about taking that idea, making your own expansions, and having a lot more fun with the game because you tweaked it a little bit more to how you like it. We're going to start that off by messing around with my first expansion for the game, Ascension, my favorite deck builder. A deck builder is just what it sounds like. A card game where you start with a very small or no deck at all, and as you progress you add cards to make a custom play experience that's generally different every time. The fun of a deck builder is playing with the formula until you get it right, understanding the elements enough to know it's most efficient with the amount of punch you need to win. Ascension does that by having you buy or defeat cards in the center row that's available to everybody, as well as these guys over here. They constantly replenish once they're taken off the board, and they come out from here, the portal deck. You can buy cards with runes, which is the currency of Ascension, or defeat monsters with power. Runes look like this, and power looks like this. Once you defeat monsters, you gain their benefit immediately. For example, this guy says you gain 2 honor and some extra junk. But there aren't always monsters in the center row. There's always this little guy over here though, the Cultist, who can be defeated once every turn. Since he's out there every turn, I never quite understood why the makers of Ascension didn't just print him on the board itself. Look, nothing underneath. They gave us a card for him. I wondered why that is. That made the gears in my brain start clicking. What can I do to make the Cultist more interesting? The game itself is a lot of fun, but I always thought an expansion with the Cultists would be a kick. So I made one. Let me present my Ascension Cultist expansion. The game is separated into turns and rounds. A turn is the end of a player's actions, and the round is when all players have gone. There's a first player chip that's produced at the start of the game. Each turn the Cultist was not killed, a player must flip a coin. If it's heads, you add a Cultist to this board. This is what we call the Brotherhood board, where the Cultists gather. Cultists work just like regular Cultists with one exception. For every Cultist chip on a Cultist slot, whoop whoop, every single Cultist gets a bonus to power equal to the number of chips. That means if there's 2 chips, all Cultists are now at a power of 4. That's their original 2 plus 2 chips. This includes the original one on this standard Ascension board. Another new idea is this. Every round, players must collectively sacrifice a number of cards from their hand, or if they have no hand, the top of their deck, to the sacrifice pile off to the side. The number of cards collected by all players must equal or exceed the number of Cultist chips on the Brotherhood board. Players can only sacrifice during their turn, beginning or end, and they can sacrifice as many or as few cards as they want, or none at all. But if the number of cards does not meet or exceed the number of Cultists on the Brotherhood board, a new Cultist is added, and the other cards that they sacrifice go to the void pile. If they do meet or exceed, the cards go to the lowest available sacrificial pit. That's these spaces here. Sacrificial pits only accept cards when there's a cultist on them. These cards stay here until someone kills the cultist on that space. When that happens, the player may take as many cards from the sacrificial pit into their discard pile as they like. The rest gets shuffled back into the portal deck. The final feature of the Brotherhood board is this. Each space affects the game differently. These slots make it so players have to discard a card from their hand to the void pile. These say power and runes cost more per turn. These numbers ascend as the cultists are placed, but the numbers don't stack. The highest number always takes precedence. Finally, there are these spots, the Call of the Brotherhood spots. Each round, the cultist coin is flipped. If it's heads, then every single hero in the center row, not constructs, they become a Brotherhood initiate. They don't count as cultists, but they symbolize the cultist pull in trying to gain more members and corrupt heroes. On space 4, they are only power 1. On space 7, however, they're power 3. They give 1 honor. So, that's the deal. I've included some links for the Expansion Theory blog where you can download the artwork for this game and any other games that I complete in the future. Just let me know what you thought. Tweaks you think the game needs, anything like that. Or hate mail. Nonsensical ramblings, those are good too. That's what makes the internet go round after all. Just make sure you send our emails to earthwormproductions@gmail.com and put Expansion Theory in the subject heading because otherwise I'm not quite sure. I have other channels over there. Urban Tea Scavenger is my sister channel, brother channel. Non-gender specific, it's fine. Everybody's included. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have fun out there. And remember, stay critical. Keep rolling those 20s. I'll see you next time on Expansion Theory.